sometimes those cars can be just like a bullet. Let's be honest, they kill.
Police say a race to get off campus for lunch likely caused a deadly crash when a teen drove into another car going at least 80 miles an hour.
A Madison business is making changes after a shooting inside a nearby nightclub, and the man arrested in connection to that shooting makes his first appearance in court.
When people are getting the chance to share their concerns and ideas for a proposed casino in Beloit. We're live with an update on the project just ahead.
This is News 3 at 6.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Madison police are still investigating a shooting over the weekend at Visions nightclub.
Police say 35-year-old Cole Foster fired a gun inside that building. Rose Schmidt joins us to explain what Foster's attorney says happened that night. Rose?
Well, his lawyer is arguing that Cole Foster did not fire every shot at Visions and that the actions he took were in self-defense after he was stabbed multiple times. He made those claims today in court when Foster appeared before a judge for the first time. Madison police say 3 customers and a Visions employee were shot early Sunday morning at Visions nightclub on East Washington Avenue. The prosecutor says 1 person is still in the hospital because of Foster's actions. The judge ordered a $150,000 cash bond. Madison police say they have not been able to figure out what caused the fight that led up to that shooting. After multiple incidents near Visions nightclub, the gas station right next door announced it would be closing early. The Quick Trip on East Washington Avenue has been a 24-hour store, but it'll start closing at 10 p.m. for the next 2 weeks and then midnight after that.
Rose Schmidt joining us on set. Rose, thank you.
A slippery morning is possible tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi is tracking the weather for us in his first alert forecast. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Charlotte. Yes, we're going to have to keep an eye on the road conditions, especially early tomorrow morning, as there could be a mix of some light snow and some light freezing rain. Let's start out by taking a look at an alert day that is in the forecast for tomorrow. Best time for slippery travel conditions will be in the morning. Some light snow, maybe up to an inch of accumulation, but a little freezing rain could mix in as well, and that could lead to slippery road services. Winter weather advisories in effect for all of southern Wisconsin, Dane County and areas to the south and west. That advisory starts 3 a.m. tomorrow morning and runs until noon Wednesday. North and east of Madison, look for that advisory to start at 6 a.m. and running until noon tomorrow. Snowfall amounts, looks like the models are just updating right now, but right around an inch of snow expected over southern Wisconsin, maybe up to 2 inches in the far northern parts of our viewing area where temperatures will be a little colder. You can see the precipitation already pushing through the Dakotas and into western Minnesota. It'll arrive here late tonight. High temperatures today, mainly in the 20s to the north of Madison, where there was a little more cloud cover and also some snow on the ground. Here in Madison, we're at 33, temperatures to the south in the mid-30s. Current temperatures have been in the lower 30s. We actually will probably see our temperatures rise a little bit later on tonight. Wind chills right now are in the middle teens. Look for those temperatures to climb back into the upper 20s by early tomorrow morning. We'll see some light snow. Again, could be mixed with a little light freezing rain through tomorrow morning. By tomorrow afternoon, the precipitation should be over with, the high reaching 34. That's your first alert traffic.
Thank you, Gary. The number of abortions performed in Wisconsin rose slightly last year. This is the first increase in 8 years, according to the data released by the State Department of Health Services. There were around 5,800 abortions done last year compared to 5,600 done the year before. Women between 20 and 24 years old accounted for 30% of abortions in Wisconsin.
Governor Walker responds to calls by Democrats to veto a package of bills passed last week by Republican lawmakers that Democrats argue would limit the power of incoming Governor-elect Tony Evers. Though Governor Walker says he is considering vetoing certain parts of the measures, he says the idea that his office would be stripped of some of its power is mostly hype and hysteria. He says no matter what he does with these bills, Evers will still be one of the most powerful governors in the country.
There's not a fundamental shift out there. The powers remain no matter what. I could walk away and do nothing. I could let them go into law without acting on it. I could veto them. I could not veto them. It doesn't change. There's a lot of hype out there, particularly nationally. Don't believe the hype.
The governor indicated he would support limited early voting and make early voting times uniform statewide, but was disappointed lawmakers did nothing with the tax incentive bill to save some 300 jobs at a Kimberly-Clark plant in the Fox Valley. Governor-elect Evers and Lieutenant Governor-elect Mandela Barnes are traveling the state to hear your ideas for the state budget. Today, the first stop in their tour up in Green Bay.
We want to make sure that you have the opportunity to be part of developing, frankly, the most important policy piece that comes out of state government, and that's the state budget.
Evers has already committed to making significant investments in public education. Other stops on this tour include Wausau, La Crosse, and Milwaukee. Meanwhile, tickets to Evers' inauguration gala are also on sale. They cost $35. We have more information about the event online at channel3000.com.
People in Beloit are getting their chance to weigh in on a proposed casino in their city. Amy Reed joins us live from the public meeting in Beloit tonight. Amy?
Yes, Charlotte, that meeting is still going on. The people have had the mic for about 40 minutes now, but we started off with an overall presentation of the project. The Ho-Chunk Nation is hoping to build their 7th casino along the I-3990 across from the Wisconsin Welcome Center. They're hoping to get approved to build a 40,000 square foot indoor water park with 2,200 slot machines, 50 tables, and 300 hotel rooms. If the public speaks strongly against that, though, there are other options, but both the Ho-Chunk Nation and the city think that they have the support they need.
I think there'll be overwhelming support for the project. We've built a lot of relationships in the community, from business leaders to community organizations. And for that reason, we're confident that the majority of the comments are going to be in favor of the project.
This project has been in the works for decades. Both Price and the city of Beloit said they're excited to have gotten this far. And tonight at News 3 at 10, we'll show you if that project does indeed have that public support and how you can get your word in if you weren't able to make it tonight. Back to you, Charlotte.
Amy, thank you.
Former First Lady Michelle Obama plans to visit Milwaukee as part of her book tour. She'll stop by the Miller High Life Theater March 14th. This is video of her stop in New York City last month. Michelle Obama's new book is a memoir called Becoming. A popular music festival in Eau Claire is taking a year off. The Eau Claire Music and Arts Festival will resume in 2020. The festival has hosted artists like Chance the Rapper, Paul Simon, and Wilco. Organizers say they want to change some things up and need a year off to create a better experience for everyone involved.
The Milwaukee Bucks are helping hungry families in our community. The team is donating free meals to the kids who participate in the after-school program at Goodman Community Center. The team's mascot, Bango, stopped by the Goodman Center to help hand out the food.
Besides food, we are also bringing them surprise gifts. So they are getting blankets from Cousin Subs, bobbleheads, bags from the Bucks, all sorts of fun items for them to take home and remember this day by.
For every shot blocked by a Bucks player, Cousin Subs will donate $50 to Hunger Task Force. Over the past couple of years, Cousins and the Bucks have donated more than 14,000 pounds of food and more than $50,000 to emergency food pantries. There's something special about being home for the holidays.
And that's the reason a Wisconsin family is celebrating tonight. The joy they are finding in signing their new lease. That's next at 6.
The outlook for a Sun Prairie family who lost their home in this summer's explosion is looking brighter.
Our Madeline O'Neill is back from Sun Prairie with more on why the Hernandez family has reason to celebrate today. Maddie?
Eric and Charlotte, Maria and Saul Hernandez now have some peace of mind. But just months ago, they were homeless, going from a family member's house to hotel rooms after the explosion destroyed their apartment on Columbus and Main Streets. They had lived there for 4 years, and their child was born inside that apartment. Maria and Saul Hernandez say not having a place to call home was really tough, especially with their son Christian, who celebrated his 2nd birthday while they were still looking for housing. But with the help of Resource Center Sunshine Place and CLM Housing, they were able to find an apartment on Columbus Street a few weeks after the explosion. What was originally meant to be short-term housing is now permanent.
I really like it here, where we are now. I'm grateful for the landlord and everything, helping us out and just helping us out and giving us a home.
The Hernandez family recently signed a 1-year lease with CLM. That real estate agency lent a helping hand after the explosion. CLM owner Chris Mattioli says he hopes the family stays there for years to come.
It's incredibly gratifying. You know, it makes all the hard work and late nights and early mornings all worth it, you know, to do things for people like the Hernandez family.
The Sunshine Place helped with coordination and with the security deposit to initially get the Hernandez family into their home. And it's always nice to see a resolution, a happy resolution after something like this.
You can really see how much it means to them. Great story.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Just ahead on News 3 at 6, an area family is getting into the Christmas spirit one mannequin at a time.
Plus, you want to give yourself a little extra time driving to work or school tomorrow. Your first alert forecast next at 6. A unique holiday mannequin display is turning a lot of heads in Lodi.
Our Jamie Perez shows us the display and the story behind it.
All right, so what I'm about to show you is something that's gone unexpectedly viral. The homeowners that started this fun project that you see started this because they liked a movie and they just wanted to make some people laugh. It's been a head turner, that's for sure.
We didn't know the backgrounds. We thought, what a stupid Christmas thing.
Not knowing the movies these mannequins were imitating, Artie Smith has been curiously observing the traffic this has brought to her quiet street in Lodi. So much so, she thought police would get involved and tell people to move along, nothing to see here.
Well, I bet the police will come and say, no more of this.
I thought it was great. Anybody who's watched this movie enjoys it, and seeing Cousin Eddie out there, it's funny.
Police actually loved it.
And I had to come back around to see if it was a real individual.
It does look real, doesn't it?
I thought it was actually a real setup.
It's made people like Chrissy Kruger, who doesn't even live around here, stop by to take a picture.
I was just on my way to the quilt store and passing by, and I noticed this famous scene from this famous movie.
2 famous movies if you haven't already made the connection. A Christmas Story and A Christmas Vacation.
You'd say that on TV.
If you've seen this movie, you know what line she's referring to and what this scene is setting up for.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
Interesting for sure. What's even more interesting is how police are using this to their advantage on social media.
A lot of people are getting deliveries at their home, and there's individuals coming to take those. So yesterday when I saw this, I thought this would be a good post about porch pirates.
Great for the community, great for a good laugh, and great for a unique twist on holiday decorations.
People thought it was pretty funny.
Now, unfortunately, the homeowners behind this fun project were not available for an on-camera interview today, but they did tell me over the phone that because this has gotten so unexpectedly huge and viral, they're going to keep doing this, and they're even adding more things on next year, but are keeping that on the hush-hush, so you'll just have to wait and see and come stop by and visit to see what exactly they have in the works. Reporting in Lodi, I'm Jamie Perez for WISC News 3.
And if you'd like to stop by and see that home, it is on the corner of Portage and Davis Street in Lodi.
We'll see what they have planned next year. Stay tuned. All right, let's talk to Gary now because we've got some weather to be concerned about, particularly for your morning commute. Gary?
Yeah, temperatures are going to be below freezing overnight. We'll see some light snow develop. But as temperatures start to rise, there could be a little bit of light freezing rain mixed in as well. So we still have that alert day in the forecast for tomorrow. The snowfall amount's probably not very heavy, around an inch or so, but you mix in a little freezing rain or freezing drizzle, and that could lead to slippery road surfaces, especially secondary roads and side streets. That will be the case through the morning hours. You can see the snowfall potential. Very latest computer model forecast just coming in. Madison has dropped from 0.9 of an inch to 0.6 of an inch. Much of southern Wisconsin probably seeing less than an inch, except perhaps up toward the Dells. Might see an inch or two where temperatures will be a little bit colder, but the freezing rain potential there will be a little bit less. Nonetheless, we do have winter weather advisories in effect for all of southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois, and eastern Iowa, beginning at 3 a.m. tomorrow morning for Dane County and areas to the west and south, and beginning at 6 a.m. for areas north and east of Dane County over toward Jefferson and Beaver Dam. All the advisories run until noon tomorrow. On Doppler track, you can see the light precipitation already moving into western Minnesota. The main part of the storm system is actually in western Iowa. Time-lapse from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville shows a pretty sunrise this morning. Didn't have the fog, but it was still a little cold. Then the clouds started to come in late this afternoon, and they will start to thicken up overnight. As we look at the live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison, it's a pretty nice evening out there. Temperatures have cooled off a bit. High temperature today, 33 after starting out at 17. Almost right at the normals of 31 and 17. Right now we're at 23 degrees with mostly cloudy skies, winds out of the east at 7 miles per hour, wind chill at 15. Those temperatures will actually start to rise back up into the upper 20s by tomorrow morning. In fact, high temperatures over the next 7 days above normal. Average high temperature right now 31. By early next week, that average high temperature is at 29. But you can see those temperatures staying mainly in the 30s, mid to upper 30s for most of those days. And then the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. This takes us through Christmas Day. You can see above normal temperatures expected over much of the country again. Highest probabilities in New England, but about a 50% chance of above normal temperatures here in southern Wisconsin. Precipitation also expected to be above normal, about a 40% chance of that. Some of that might be just in the form of rain because temperatures will be warm enough for that. Temperatures right now mainly in the 20s, a few 30s to our south. There's actually a stationary front near the Wisconsin-Illinois state line, and as that lifts northward, our temperatures may go up a little bit overnight. Upper level winds right now from west to east, and they actually become a little more southwesterly just to our south and west. That's feeding a little moisture into the storm, but not a lot of precipitation out there right now. The main area of low pressure is actually located over western Iowa. Most of this precipitation up to the north in the vicinity of a trough of low pressure, but eventually as that low moves eastward, we'll see a little more precipitation break out. South of it, temperatures are still in the 50s as far north as Kansas City. Elsewhere, temperatures are pretty seasonal for this time of year. You can track that low pressure system, a little swirl right here. You can see the light snow developing early tomorrow morning, mixed with a little bit of light freezing rain, and then by noon that's gone, and we just see the cloudy skies sticking around for tomorrow night. And then as we head into Thursday, the next weather system to the south, bringing mainly rain to our south, but there could be a little bit of light freezing rain or light snow on the back edge, and that would affect us Thursday night into early Friday morning. Our forecast for tonight calls for a low temperature of, first, the winter weather advisories again in effect through noon tomorrow. Look for a low of 27. Actually, temperatures will rise a little bit to get to that point. Some light snow, light freezing rain possible late. High tomorrow, 34 degrees. Light snow in the morning, up to an inch of accumulation, and then maybe a little bit of light freezing rain. You can see on future track the precipitation reaching us early tomorrow morning, and by noon, pretty much off to the east. Afternoon, maybe a couple of flurries, that's about it. Then look for cloudy skies for tomorrow night, and then we head into Thursday. Look for a quiet day with highs in the mid to upper 30s, but again, that precipitation again reaching us later on Thursday night. Snowfall amounts an inch or less in most areas. 7 to 10 day forecast, those temperatures slightly above normal, mainly in the 30s. By the rest of next week, look for just a chance of flurries from late Wednesday into Thursday, and then quiet weather at the end of the week.
Oh man, those free throws. Probably not a favorite for a certain senior forward on the Badgers. Ethan Happ talks strategy. That's next in sports.
Hi, I'm Michelle Carolla. Tonight on the news at 9, a local recovery center is hoping to tackle the opioid epidemic with recovery coaches. We'll explain how this program works. It's first on Fox at 9.
Well, the Badgers shooting free throws pretty on par with their opponents, 67% as a team, while their opponents making 65% of theirs. But free throws have been the Achilles heel for Ethan Happ. It's not for lack of practice. We've seen him shoot them to no end at the end of every Badgers practice, but the numbers haven't really reflected that. He's shooting 42% rather from the free throw line so far this season. It's the lowest on the team, but according to him, it's still a work in progress.
Obviously, you want to do the same thing every time, but just being comfortable being uncomfortable. Coach puts situations a lot where if we miss it, the whole team has to run, or if we miss it, we got to go do 5 crunches or whatever it is, and puts a little bit of pressure on you that way. And I think that's the only thing a coach really can do is try and put us in those situations.
Meanwhile, Badgers women's hockey standout Annie Pankowski earning the title of WCHA Forward of the Week today. The senior scored 3 goals against St. Cloud State last weekend, and Pankowski has now scored in 7 straight games for Wisconsin. That's the 3rd longest streak in program history. Badger men's hockey right wing Sean Doogie earning the title of the Big Ten's first star this week. The sophomore scored a power play goal in the series sweep against Michigan State last weekend, also had an assist in both of those games. This is the 2nd week in a row that the Badgers have won the conference's first star. Last week, Keandre Miller earned that honor. A few things at stake this Sunday when the Packers head to Soldier Field to face the division-leading Bears. Chicago could win the NFC North if they beat the Packers, and Green Bay has got to win out in these next 3 games if they want any chance at making the playoffs this season. But given the way that the win over the Falcons went, interim head coach Joe Philbin seems to just stick to the basics. No big deal.
Overall, I think this, the staff put in a good game plan. I think the players had a good week of preparation. I think, they made a couple, there was no panic, it was an opening drive. That's a good offensive football team. They made a couple plays, a couple mistakes. We could have done some things better. But, again, I don't know that it was anything revolutionary. I think guys just, we knew we were going to be in for we knew we had a good opponent. We knew they were a good offense. But if we just execute a little better, we'd get our share of stops and make some plays.
More news from the NFC North Vikings with an underwhelming showing against the Seahawks last night, losing 21-7. So today the team fired offensive coordinator John DeFilippo. Quarterbacks coach Kevin Stefanski has been promoted to that spot for the time being. Vikings currently in 2nd place in the division behind the Bears. Finally tonight, last night, the Heat visiting the Lakers at the Staples Center. These guys know each other pretty well. LeBron James and Dwayne Wade, former teammates in Miami back in the day, meeting once again on the court. Nice little moment there as they catch up and chat, hug it out. And later they exchanged jerseys. It's the final time they'll play each other in the regular season in their careers. D. Wade will retire after the season, his 16th in the NBA. Lakers won by 3.
I wonder if the Bears will be excited to win the division by beating the Packers. You think they'll be revved up for that game at all?
You think that that's going to happen?
I just wonder if they'll be excited about the prospects.
They will be.
Oh, boy.
A few certain Bear fans might be, too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right.
Well, we're looking at a cold start to the day tomorrow, possibly with some light snow and light freezing rain. We do have an alert day in the forecast. Winter weather advisories begin at 3 a.m. for Dane County and areas to the south and west, and at 6 a.m. areas north and east. Look for some mixed precipitation late Thursday into early Friday, and then after that, it's quiet weather all the way through the end of next week.
Gary, thanks. And thanks for joining us for News 3 at 6.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.